to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Go on, again. Perfect. This is Umar Ahmed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Finally, we're nearly here. Unified light heavyweight world titles on the line, Saturday night, BT Sport. Can he do it?
What, can Anthony Yarde do it? Yeah, of course he can do it. There's always shocks in boxing, and I think after Beterbiev, with his 18 wins, and his 18 knockouts in his 10-year career, it's an extraordinary record. I think he's the only world champion in the world with a kind of totally unblemished knockout record. Yeah, but I think Yarde's got to make it his fight and not go the distance. Could be wrong on that, but make it his fight and try and stop Beterbiev. I'd certainly put it on him early without being reckless, and turn it into a dogfight. He's very powerful. He's got the power to knock anyone out, Anthony Yarde, but I don't think he wants to fall into a Beterbiev rhythm. It's a phenomenal fight. It's two punches. We could have an absolute war, maybe. This could be a 5-round Hagler-Hearns. You never know. But it's a great prospect. It's brilliant that one of the great world champions is here in live, so the British fans get to see him live. I hope the arena's going to be sold out. Massive opportunity. Anthony has learnt from that first experience. When was it? 2019, in August 2019, in Tractor Town,
Chelyabinsk
against Sergei Kovalev. It's a great time for him. Congratulations to Frank Warren on getting this fight over the line. Great relationship with Bob Arum. We might even see more of these champions coming here and defending their belts. So it's a great fight. I still favour Beterbiev to win in the late rounds, maybe by a TKO in the late rounds or on points. But Anthony's got a fantastic chance here. I'm picking with my head, not my heart, as I always do.
A lot of people perhaps may get in the ring with Beterbiev and already half lost because the intimidation factor, he's a monster. He just overawed people with his tenacity and power. But one thing we know about Anthony Yarde, I mean, he lost 5 family members tragically within 8 months, and also went out to Russia without any fear against Sergei Kovalev, with a low-level experience as well. So the fear factor and the mental side, that's not going to be a problem for Anthony.
No, he's come through a lot since then. He's come through a loss and a win to Lyndon Arthur as well, hasn't he? He's avenged that defeat. Like you say, the loss of family members at the time must have been so difficult. And he's typifies that attitude of fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. So he's got the advantage of being in his own backyard. That's brilliant for him and for this fight. So he's not having to travel. He can do what he always does, maybe even sleep in his own bed until fight night. Those kind of advantages are massive psychologically. He really does believe, I don't think there's a doubt about it. Yes, Beterbiev is the silent assassin type. I've got to try and interview him in a couple of hours, and he doesn't give a lot away apparently in fight week, but that's fascinating to try and open him up. He's got an amazing story. He's now Canadian, grew up in Chechnya, of course, Dagestan. Very, very tough man, brilliant amateur records. 2 losses, of course, the World Amateur Championships and the Olympics to Alexander Usyk. He was fighting at heavyweight then. It's a great fight. It's a really appetising main event, and can't wait to be there on the night. And it's fantastic to be around them all week.
Well, he can sleep in his own bed. Do you know also that he can have his own shower, hot showers, because I'm not actually taking the mickey, Gareth. When we got to Chelyabinsk, my shower was all right, but Anthony Yarde had no running hot water to have a bath or a shower, so he can shower at home. That's not a joke, by the way, that is true, but obviously I did bring up the shower because of you.
Listen, that place looked tough. I think Kovalev's mum works a crane there, or doesn't she, or a tractor, or she does it.
It's where he was born, Kovalev, his hometown.
Very, very tough environment. And, well, listen, nothing wrong with a cold shower, as you know, if you showered.
I have showered today, thank you very much, Gareth.
You were there, I mean.
Oh, I did shower in Russia, yeah. Gareth, I want to quickly get your opinion on a statement that Alexander Usyk put out yesterday. Fury, you talk about greatness in boxing, at the same time you say, give me a lot of money. He goes on, etc. He's basically saying, well, in one way, that maybe you're trying to get out of the fight by asking for too much money or changing the split. Your thought?
Yeah, I've read the tweet. I think, look, the goalposts are being moved. We understand, I did an interview with Bob Arum last week, that the two men were negotiating their own deal with the Saudis for the fight to take place in April. Maybe it means there's been a switch and it is looking like Wembley. I hope so. It's the right place for the fight right now. Look, Beterbiev's coming here to defend his belts. What's wrong with having a massive fight at Wembley Stadium? We're in the shadow of it right now. It'll be an amazing event late in April. I believe the date is late April, and maybe Fury's looking at a different split now because it's going to be here in the UK. Fury does contradict himself about money. I've done interviews with him before where he said money doesn't interest him. He'd fight Anthony Joshua for free. Do you remember? Yeah. But it's just talk. Of course he's not going to fight for free, but it's still a massive fight. I think it should be a 50-50 purse split in my view.
Even at Wembley Stadium?
Yeah, I think so. Why not?
Well, his argument would be, as you said, Saudi were offering the two deals privately, so whatever the split for that is, that's up to them. It's their own private deals. But at Wembley, obviously Tyson's a much bigger draw, and the pay-per-view money and the ticket receipts would be coming off the back of him, largely. He showed that against Chisora, fighting at 60,000 people in the middle of winter. So that would be his argument. I want 60-40 against Usyk at Wembley. Well,
they can have that argument. That's between the lawyers and the negotiators, the promoters, and the fighters themselves. I think it should be 50-50. Usyk's bringing 3 belts. He won them 2 years ago. He defended them a year ago. He brings us so much to this event. He's a London Olympic gold medalist. Look, Fury might draw the big crowd, but Usyk does as well. There's 2 men in this fight. It's the undisputed title. Tyson isn't, I don't believe, as he says, motivated by money. Yes, of course he's drawing a big crowd, but given that Usyk holds the 3 belts, 50-50 or 55-45, but 60-40, I don't think it's fair, but let's hope that money doesn't get in the way of this fight now. Let's have an announcement of this fight very soon. We've had too much waiting in the heavyweight division over the last 18 months. Let's get this fight over the line. Hopefully we'll hear this week. Bob Arum's in town. Hopefully Tyson will be in town at some point, maybe Saturday night. Frank Warren's around, George Warren's around. Let's get it over the line. It's interesting to see, though, if it has slid away from Saudi and they're not getting the offers they want, that we're coming here. That's good news as far as I'm concerned.
Just lastly, UKAD and the British Boxing Board of Control, their investigation into Conor Benn's 2 failed drugs test, they've said there's been a lack of cooperation from Conor Benn's team. So, yeah, get your thoughts on that report.
Yeah, well, I interviewed Robert Smith on Saturday morning. I think that's the story you're referring to there with Riyadh Al Samurai. It wasn't exclusive, but Riyadh's work's been brilliant on that case. I spoke to Robert Smith on Saturday morning, and he spoke to us on Talk Sports show, and I tweeted at the time that Robert had said there'd been nothing back from them, from Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn on there, or certainly Conor Benn's team, around the requests for information for UKAD and the Boxing Board of Control. But as we know, because Mauricio Suleiman told us, there's a 270-page report that's gone to the WBC. So that's the route they're going down. I think it's really depressing that they're not cooperating with UKAD and the Boxing Board of Control, because we need this resolved. Because we want to see Conor Benn, if he can prove his innocence, and he claims his innocence, we want to see him back in the ring. Simple as that, you know. He's strenuously denied that he's done anything deliberately wrong. So let's see the evidence put in front of UKAD and the Boxing Board of Control.
Gareth, I hear Frank Warren's channel want you for their socials, so I better let you go. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll see you tomorrow at the press, all right?
Well, it's goodbye to you, and it's hello to them.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.